साथ ஒரு நிமிஷம் ஒரு நிமிஷம். चेन्नई का फोकस करें
ಸರಸನದೆ
Tada Subramaniam, may please come and occupy the chair. Sir, on the with invocation by Srimati Sai Saraswati, a lecturer of the Music College, Madurai.
गजवदना करुणा सदना श्री गजवदना करुणा सदना शंकर भाला लंबोदर सुंदर गजवदना करुणा सदना अजन मरेंद्रनु मुनिवरो मरेंद्रनु मुनिवरो पणियो पंकज चरण चरणं चरणं श्री गजवदना करुणा सदना नीये मूवुलगीर्घाधारं नीये शिवार्गम मन्त्रचारं नीये வாழ்வின் நீயருள்வாய் சுமுகா ஓம்கார கஜவதனா கருணா சதனா
Thank you, Saraswati Madam. May I request our Secretary, Sri Agrahari Krishnamurthy, to welcome the President and the assembled audience.
Esteemed Professor Gopichand Narangji, President of the Sahitya Academy, most distinguished critic, scholar in Urdu and English, Honorable Tada Subramaniam Ji, Honorable K.R. Seturaman Ji, 2006 Bhasha Samman awardees, distinguished writers and scholars in the August Assembly, lovers of Saurashtra language and literature of this great temple city, my colleague Mr. Jitendra Nath, ladies and gentlemen. This evening will be remembered as yet another historical date in the annals of the Sahitya Academy, National Academy of Letters. As you are aware, Academy in the last more than half a century is striving hard to propagate the rich literary traditions of this country through its various programs and publications throughout the country and abroad. Particularly in the recent years, it has increased its activities manifold under the guidance of our beloved President, Professor Gopichand Narang. Academy has moved out of big metropolitan cities and conducting seminars and organizing literary programs in important university towns. Apart from its various activities, Academy has taken a keen interest in the development of Indian languages, particularly languages not enlisted in the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India. Academy has recognize 24 Indian languages and supporting by way of publishing books, organizing seminars and workshops, and honoring the writers and scholars by giving away annual awards for creative writing and also for translations. The Language Development Board of the Sahitya Academy advises the Academy on the languages that are not recognized. And in the year 1996, Sahitya Academy instituted Bhasha Samman with a view to achieve greater objectives in the field of the development of Indian languages, recognizing good literature in such languages other than those 24 languages recognized by it. These Bhasha Sammans are bestowed upon the scholars and writers in recognition of their service and contribution to the language literature concerned. Under this most important activity of the Academy, it has already offered Bhasha Sammans to languages such as Bhojpuri, Pahadi, Tulu, Kakborok, Khasi, Mizo, Santali, Bhili, Kuyi, and Ladakhi. The chairmanship of the President of the Sahitya Academy, Professor Gopi Chand Narang, has taken a positive step in the direction of considering Kutchi, Kodagu, Kumaon, and Garhwali languages for Bhasha Samman. Due recognition and Bhasha Sammans are given in the field of tribal and oral literatures of the country, and Academy has established a center exclusively for that at Shillong. Academy has also documented and published oral and tribal literatures. Friends, we have assembled here this evening to witness yet another rich cultural identity being honored through its two distinguished scholars. The Saurashtra language spoken by Saurashtrians of South India. Their ancestors had migrated from Gujarat, Saurashtra, a region of Gujarat in 13 AD for historical and political reasons. They have retained their language Gujarati, which is often called Saurashtri, and the same after migration got influenced by other languages, mainly Tamil and Telugu. Today, it has become an integral part of the Tamil culture, language, and land. In a few minutes from now, as per its convention, Sahitya Academy's President, Professor Gopi Chand Narang, shall be presenting the Bhasha Sammans to the two distinguished scholars who have shared the Samman this year. I take this opportunity to welcome the President of Sahitya Academy, Professor Gopi Chand Narang. It is my proud privilege to extend our sincere welcome to the awardees of the Samman, Shri Tada Subramaniam and Shri K.R. Seturaman. I feel extremely happy to extend our warm welcome to all the distinguished writers, scholars assembled in this august gathering. I welcome the representatives of the both print and electronic media. Of this evening's function, Professor Gopi Chand Narang to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable awardee of the evening, Shri Tada Subramaniam, Honorable Shri K.R. Sethuraman, Shri Agrahara Krishnamurti, Secretary, Sahitya Academy, all the members, distinguished members of the audience, distinguished fellow writers, distinguished lovers of Saurashtra language, distinguished lovers of the Tamil language, all the distinguished journalists, ladies and gentlemen. In the first place, I would like to share with you my happiness. I have a great pleasure and I feel privileged to be here this evening to give away these two Bhasha Sammans to two scholars and writers who have devoted their whole life without even thinking ever that one day Sahitya Academy would come to your doorstep to honor these two writers. Friends, it's a great day for this great city of the world-famous Meenakshi Temple, that your two scholars are being honored in your city, but more than you, I would like to say that Sahitya Academy feels being honored by you. I am a writer of Urdu. Allow me to share a couplet of Ghalib, very famous poet, who says, which is very appropriate for this evening, वो आए घर में हमारे खुदा की कुदरत है. They are coming to our place. What a wonder and what a circumstance and what a dictate of the Lord. वो आए घर में हमारे खुदा की कुदरत है. कभी हम उनको कभी खुद को देखते हैं. Sometimes we look at them and sometimes we look at ourselves that they have come to us. Friends, as the Secretary Shri Agrahara Krishnamurti, in fact, I must have thanked him at the outset. He urged upon me, you know, these Bhasha Sammans are given collectively. And this year, the Bhasha Sammans were given, the three Bhasha Sammans were given in a function in Hyderabad. One gone, the two for the classical and medieval languages. One was given for research work in genealogy, and the other was given for great research work in epigraphy. One went to the state of Karnataka, the other went to the state of Andhra Pradesh, and what a coincidence that the third Bhasha Samman went to Nagaland in the northeast, and this fourth one has come to Madurai in Tamil Nadu. This is the picture of India. This is the plurality of India. And as I was telling you, I am grateful to the Secretary Sahitya Academy for urging upon me that you must travel with me to Madurai to present this award in your own hands. Of course, it's a historic occasion for you and it's a historic occasion for us. Let me share with you for a minute or two that how Sahitya Academy always has been in the vanguard of recognizing the plurality, linguistic plurality of India. I think there is not a single country in the world which has so many languages as us, as India. 24 languages recognized by Sahitya Academy, and there are scores and scores other languages in which worthwhile literature is being produced. The great Californian linguist calls South Asia, that is the subcontinent of India, a jungle of languages. Having so many languages, is this our weakness or is this our strength? This polyphony, this plurality, in fact, is our strength. India is like a mosaic, having so many patterns, so many colors. It adds to the colorfulness of our civilization. India is, when you consider these languages and these subcultures in India, India is like a bouquet of flowers, of many fragrances and of many hues. So to recognize it, in fact, the major credit goes to Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the founder of Sahitya Academy in 1954, and he was the first Prime Minister of India. He was asked by the Education Minister, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, to be the President of Sahitya Academy. And he said, well, I don't think I deserve to be the President of Sahitya Academy, the National Academy of Letters, but nonetheless, it's a great honor, so I accept it with humbleness. But I do hope that the Prime Minister of India will not interfere with my work as the President of Sahitya Academy. So the first thing he did, he said, the Constitution of India recognizes at that time 14 languages in Schedule 8. He said Sahitya Academy should recognize English also, because in English language so many of the Indians write with the distinction. So this was the beginning of the recognition of other languages which could not have been accommodated in the Constitution of India. So in the next 10 or 15 years, Sahitya Academy added another 7 languages to its tally. And Constitution was amended much later to accommodate those languages. Recently, in the 100th Amendment, 4 languages were added by the Constitution of India, by our parliamentarians and by the Government of India, which Sahitya Academy had recognized some 20 years ago. But in spite of our efforts, we see languages like Saurashtra, languages like Ho, languages like Angami, languages like Gujari, languages like Himachali, languages like Pahari, like Munda, so many, Kakbro, so many other languages yet need to be recognized. So my great thanks to my predecessor presidents of Sahitya Academy and to the liberalism of Sahitya Academy and to the vision, linguistic and cultural vision that Sahitya Academy, as was being mentioned by Sri Agrahara Krishnamurti, that Sahitya Academy established these 4 Bhasha Sammans. And I must tell you, these Bhasha Sammans are equivalent in money and honor to the 24 literary awards we give. They are no less in importance. Their significance and their importance and their meaningfulness is the same as the award given to Tamil language or to Malayalam or to Kannada or to Hindi or to Bengali or to any other language. So this way, 2 Bhasha Sammans now, then a question came up that we are giving recognition to unlisted languages. By unlisted I mean which do not find mention in Schedule 8. But how about Pali? How about Prakrit? How about Abhranshas? There are so many scholars in India who are working for Pali, who are doing research work which concerns Prakrits, which concerns Abhranshas. So 2 Bhasha Sammans are given for research work in such language areas, medieval and classical, and 2 Bhasha Sammans, as you were just being told, for the unrecognized